Welcome to Neyland Stadium here, wrapping things up. Tennessee falls to number 1 Georgia, 41-17. I'm Vince Ferrara alongside Josh Ward, co-host of Sports 180 here on 99.1, The Sports Animal. So Tennessee, 10-7 lead after one quarter. Josh, what were you kind of thinking at that point in terms of Tennessee's chances to try to finish that off?
Well, I was impressed that Tennessee was able to get off to a really good start, which it's done all season long. Tennessee has started out hot. My next question was, can Tennessee keep this going? And we got our answer. Georgia responded, and Georgia showed how good of a team it can be, and Tennessee was not able to match that. But I was impressed with the way Tennessee came out. Tennessee staff has done a good job of coming up with a plan going into every game. Leading at the end of the first quarter against Alabama and Georgia says something. But over 4 quarters, obviously Tennessee did not have nearly enough.
Yeah, talent matters, right?
It does, yeah. Again, Kirby Smart said it. And we can kind of joke about the quote, but he's correct. You can't outcoach talent, especially when there's that much of a difference with what Georgia has recruited every year under Kirby Smart and what Tennessee's trying to get to. So they were still able to do some good things within the game, but especially trying to punch one in against that Georgia defense, the talent emerged and they made more plays.
Yeah, red zone, and Josh Heupel kind of mentioned red zone really hurt him.
Yeah.
It was twice, he didn't get any points out of it, and then you had a couple of missed throws from Hendon Hooker, and we've seen him play on such a high level. Hard to overcome turnovers, red zone, and then miss it on those opportunities for big plays.
Right, and pressure was coming. Georgia had 9 tackles for loss, a bunch of sacks, 6 sacks in the game, and I do have to wonder, is he affected on his throws, knowing pressure is probably coming? He had a throw down the field where I did wonder, I think I said to you, if Javonte Payton's in there, because he's probably a step faster than the receiver on the play, is that a catch? Maybe so. Right. But does that make up the difference in the game? No, because Georgia had too much.
Yeah, Stetson Bennett with scrambles at the quarterback position, that continues to really hurt this Tennessee defense.
Yeah, it happened again. There were individual plays we can talk about. The Byron Young horse collar, which Josh Heupel brought up. You just can't have those. And a play like that for Georgia, they can make up the difference. Right. For Tennessee, that can't happen. So I think a lot of people, fans, media, the coaches probably behind the scenes at least said, we need to be perfect going into this game or close to it, and Tennessee was far from it, and Georgia affected that. Georgia caused Tennessee to be imperfect at times.
What'd you think of Josh Heupel's decision, down a couple of scores, 4th and 4 at the 17-yard line? He went for it versus taking the points there.
Yeah, I actually thought take the points. I understand why he went for it, and he said in the postgame, look, you only get so many opportunities against that defense. And he probably expected we're going to need more points. So I would have kicked it because I thought that was going to be really tough to convert. Obviously it was, and I can say that in hindsight. I'm not going to kill him for that decision. I totally understand why he did.
Cedric Tillman, 12 catches, 200 yards.
Yeah.
He continues to elevate his game and has come such a long way. I mean, I think the 12 catches were more than he had in his career coming into the season.
He's definitely one of the biggest bright spots of this season, Cedric Tillman, and I think he's an example of a player individually we can point to that has benefited from the scheme and what they do to help receivers. He's developed. He was not a highly touted player. He went to a big-time high school and did not get much attention. And he's a guy that they really count on in this offense. So, yeah, Cedric Tillman stepped up against a really good defense. We said challenge their secondary, see what you can do on the perimeter, and Cedric Tillman responded.
Anything else of note in this game that you took away that might impact them moving forward in the last 2 games with South Alabama and Vanderbilt?
Yeah, not too much. I think Tennessee as a team really fought all the way through. They couldn't make plays, and Georgia's talent beat Tennessee out. But I don't think it affects Tennessee at all moving forward into South Alabama and Vanderbilt. We'll find out. But Tennessee is also head and shoulders against those teams. What we're saying about Georgia versus Tennessee should play in Tennessee's favor the next 2 weeks, but they need to take care of business. Tennessee still can finish 7-5 and get to a bowl game with a chance to win 8 games, and that's a real positive for the team and the program.
Yeah, didn't have Tyon Evans today. They really miss having Tyon Evans, and at least having Evans and Small in there together at the same time. We really haven't seen that since early in the year.
Yeah, they could have used him. A bright spot there would be playing in that game for Jalen Wright. He's a guy with speed, athleticism, and Jabari Small giving it a go. I mean, credit, they're, again, fighting all the way through. Jabari Small's not been healthy since the Pitt game, right, all the way through. Yeah. But for sure, Tyon Evans, he's one of the individual difference makers on this team. Tennessee could have used him.
Yeah. And then no Javonte Payton. Josh Heupel did say in the post game that he would anticipate him having a chance to play next week. We don't really get a whole lot of info in terms of injuries.
You always wait and see every time.
Yep. It's always Friday in case anyone asks again. So, all right, we got tons of coverage on the way. All the press, post-game press conferences. We'll have a Josh Heupel and a bunch of Tennessee players. We'll have it at 99.1thesportsanimal.com. football finals, continuing on the Sports 801, then Sunday Sports Sound Off as well. And then Josh, the entire crew, will have coverage and reaction on Monday with your phone calls as well. With Josh Ward, I'm Vince Ferrara. Thanks for watching. That'll wrap it up from Neyland Stadium. Tennessee falls to 5-5. Number 1 Georgia defeats Tennessee 41-17. I'm Vince Ferrara. You guys have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.